What's going on, Dragon Ball Z fans? We are back once again presenting yet another Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 discussion video here today, guys. Myself, UnrealEntGaming, the COD Brothers Gaming, aka Legendary Super Saiyan Paul, and Mr. Fatal Brotherhood. And today we're going to be discussing the overall multiplayer aspect of the next Dragon Ball Z game, in which we believe might be Xenoverse 2. Multiplayer for Xenoverse 1, everybody till this day still plays it. It is awesome, although it has its flaws. I believe that it can be vastly improved and just retouched a lot better than how it was before. Now, before I get into my opinion, I want to know from you guys, like, where do you guys stand in terms of multiplayer? Because I think that they did a great job. They definitely did things that, you know, caught the consumer's eye. There were things that I didn't like, such as the timer. I hated how there was 3 minutes to each battle, whereas opposed to Battle of Z had 10 minutes. That doesn't make any sense. And I hated how the fact you had to end your game over and over and over again just to switch your character. So I think that they should allow you to pick any custom character the way you want to without having to end your game. But where do you guys stand in terms of what you guys want to see in the next multiplayer game?
All right, so some of the things you pointed out right there are correct. The time limit needed to be changed. The ability to take off capsules needed to be changed. The
Oh, really?
ability
Why capsules?
because capsules, like, some of us don't want capsules. Some of us want to fight like 1v1s and fight a clean fight without the disadvantage of not. If somebody might have forgotten to put on the capsule, so
Yeah, just
like
leave it as an option, like
that's
just to
like a
turn it off.
disadvantage right there. That's not really fair, and it takes a lot more strategy and skill to like fight and not get hit, rather than just rely on the capsules if you're gonna get hit anyway.
That is true.
Another thing they need to add are timers on the super ultimates and stuff like that. Like, you shouldn't be able to spam like the planetary destruction and stuff like that.
Yes,
One after one
or
after
like the
one.
electric shock thing. Like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, people spam that endlessly online.
There needs to be like a 20-second timer on some of those, like 10-second timers on the other ones. At least like a few seconds in between, so that way it doesn't get constantly spammed and barraged, because that's really annoying. They also have to change the way you join your friends' teams. It's not really
Yes, they auto
efficient.
allow you to keep private slots and allow people that you invite to just join those private slots.
Like,
Like,
yeah,
how many times did we try to invite each other and then you would go to the opposite team? I think by having a party lobby to where we get to actually, you know, group up and then look for a match that has other people that, you know, hosting lobbies and stuff. I think that'd be pretty cool. I agree with everything you said.
That's what every other
Time
game has
capsules.
done.
I think the time capsules. I believe that should be an option to where you can turn it on or off during every selection. For example, if I'm
you
the
mean
host.
time capsules? You mean energy capsules or
No, the
something?
energy capsules and
Time
stuff like that,
You
like
said time
the time
capsule.
capsules, the capsule corp capsules. Damn it! All right,
Time
so
force.
the capsules I believe should have an option to be where like you can turn it on or off during the game. Like if I'm the host, if I want to set the game up, you guys can give me an option. Like, do I want to have it on or off? So like I think that'd be pretty cool. Does anybody here besides me miss environment destruction here?
Yeah, environmental
Christ
destruction.
Almighty! I throw spirit bombs everywhere. Nothing gets destroyed. Why?
Only
Why?
some of the stages. Like,
What
I
do you want, like
don't
the
you,
ground to keep pushing down
do,
after every spear bomb?
That's what
doesn't
makes
the
Dragon
cell
Ball Z.
cell game arena get destroyed a little bit?
A little, yeah, it does.
Just the shards. I mean,
Like we need, yeah, they need more of that. What was another thing? I forgot. I just lost what I was thinking. Ah, damn.
well, I would say also the option to where you get to revive certain teammates. Um, I honestly think that there should be different ways to revive them. Like if I have a sensu bean, I should be able to give it to you instantly, and you'll be able to get right back up. We have sensu beans in the game, but nobody ever uses them because they're pretty much essentially worthless. Again, my biggest thing is I have multiple characters. I would like to switch on and off with my characters without leaving my game. That right there was such a big pet peeve. It's like, oh hey, I want to play as Golden Cooler. Hold on, let me just end my game, come back, deselect Raikon just to select, you know, Kaio or whatever the fuck. It's just like, what the hell? Why? You know, like I've always hated that. And the fact that you guys have been in situations where we had some really epic battles, and then it would just end abruptly with the timer.
That's true.
The
Another,
timer is definitely the biggest issue I had with it. It's like
yeah.
our fights definitely last longer than 3 minutes, but the time limit thing, it just leaves it on always draws and all that shit. They need to make it 10 minutes or at least like Battle Z, or give us control of the time limit, like unlimited, infinity, until like lives like in
Well,
Super Smash.
I wouldn't say infinity. I would say 10, 15 minutes is enough.
Now we
10,
need lives like Smash
10
Brothers.
15 minutes, I think, would last endlessly. I mean,
Lives like Smash Brothers.
unless, of course, you're doing like a mode to where you have an endless timer and you're trying to eliminate the team you know, via knockout or whatever. But if you're doing like 15 minutes, you guys can just do it based off of how many times you get down. Like, for example, I think Battle of Z did that very well. You had 15 minutes. The team that scores the most deaths or the most KOs wins. So even if I get knocked out, I'll still be able to get revived, but we have a loss on our side. You know, like we just keep fighting until we have like the most knockouts. So I think that was always pretty cool. But I think character selection was great. I don't know if you guys had a problem with that. Did you guys have a problem with that?
No, that was annoying, very annoying. Like
What do you mean?
like you couldn't jump out of the character creation screen to your character. They should they had all that space in that menu. They couldn't just add a few more slots for custom characters besides that one that you have.
Well, again, that varies on them. It's how they want to do it. It's how it, like I mean, because I'm sure creating a game, especially like Xenoverse, which it took how many years? Like, it took like 1 or 2 years, 3 years. It took a long time for them to make. So I'm pretty sure they weren't really thinking about certain aspects of character creation. Like here, create your character better than ever before, but I'm sure they weren't thinking about, oh, hey, what if we have more slots? I think they were just incorporating the fact that we're going to focus on one character and one character only, because how many other characters does anybody here have that's level 99 anymore? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
I have like two above 80s, but that's besides the point.
Going to the leveling system, don't you think they should change the parallel quest to the way for the loot? Like, you know how it's randomly generated? It should be if you get a Z rank, you get the best item. Should you not?
Yeah, that was a
I agree, and there were certain moments to where I would play parallel quest with you guys. I was trying to unlock something, and it would not work. Like, still to this day, I'm trying to unlock Vegito's clothing. Why can't I unlock it? Like, I'm clearly the one that's putting in a lot of work. I think that even though it is generally like randomized, like you get it based off of how you did as a performance. Like,
Well, not even based on how you did it as a performance, because you could get a Z rank, and next thing you know, you unlock Yamcha's wig. It's not fair.
no, you're absolutely right. I just think that prizes ought to be done more lenient, and just like I think that you put in so much work sometimes, you get like a bullshit D C rank, and it just doesn't make any sense. It's like, wait a minute, I got first hit, I got most knockouts, I got this, I got that, but I'm not gaining anything out of this. Why? That was always one thing that kind of threw me off. So I was like, you know what? I hope they change that. But like, what are some other pet peeves that you saw online that really got under your skin?
One thing I really want them to fix is I want them to test each of their fucking moves that they create and make sure none of them are this blue hurricane bullshit. No more electric strike dumbassery. No more like cheat moves.
Well,
Like
if they added a timer to those moves, that would fix most of those problems, though. Like,
yeah, but it's just like moves like that you could easily even without the timer. The fact that with blue hurricane they shouldn't allow you to move around with it. If
yeah,
you
they
just
should have
like
rebalanced some of those, like right away.
yeah.
But
What
I
was
mean, like,
another?
what were some of the moves that bothered you the most?
That one, Blue Hurricane, Symphonic Destruction at one point, Electric Strike. Those moves, Beerus's Planetary Destruction thing when it was
Yeah, the
spam.
fact that as a sand too, like they really overpowered the sand.
That's what I was gonna tell you. Yo, before they even jump to making Super Saiyan 3 a transformation, they need to rebalance the Saiyan race. It's overpowered. You shouldn't have unlimited ki and versus all the other races that don't really have any transformations besides unlock potential.
And every other race should have a transformation.
And
Like
that we're going to be discussing in the next in the next video with character creation models and character roster portrays. But I agree with what you're saying. Like, not every character should be as OP'd as the Saiyans. And you're right. Everybody, including us, has used the Saiyans more than once. We definitely spam those characters out the ass with their techniques and stuff. But I just think that overall, the combination system ought to be fixed a little bit. Like, I think some characters had like almost the same combinations, which kind of got under my skin because I was like, oh my god, like some of
Well,
the characters would be like, we're so repetitive with like their combos.
that's true, but that's another change I hope they added. Like, you know how we had masters?
Yeah,
If you pick a character like Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, his fighting style is different than Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta's. So I was thinking, if you get to choose them as your master, why can't you change your fighting style to theirs?
absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I think that fighting styles ought to be adapted and incorporated. From certain aspects. Like, for example, if you do have Vegeta and Goku as your master, I think that you ought to fight a certain way. You don't really fight a certain way. You just gain
well,
certain materials and
like
items that allow you to become better, I guess.
with that, like what you're saying, like with your master, like you know how like in Budokai 1, Goku and Vegeta had their own stance when they're about to
Yeah, that's
fight.
that's the thing. In this
That's how
game,
you should
they
start off
punch
each match.
differently. If you pick the two different characters, they don't punch the same. They don't dash across into the combos the same. They do it differently. So if you have them as your master, you should be doing and replicating the same thing.
Oh no, you're absolutely right. I believe that they ought to include a way to where you actually fight differently. How many times do we select characters? Like I think the Frieza Klansmen, the humans, the Namekians, in a way they all kind of fight the same. So I understand that, but overall I think the multiplayer ought to fix the things that we just referenced because they were such a nuisance and they kind of delayed some really epic ass gameplay from like certain people. I mean, I for one definitely enjoyed the battles that I had, but I just think they could have been that much better. I don't know about what you guys have to say about that.
That's true. They were really great battles, but they're still far from perfect. But if they hit perfection, oh man.
But what is perfection? I mean, not every Dragon Ball Z fan is gonna
Well, as
like what we
close to
said.
perfect, as few complaints as we can get. Like that was a list of them, and if they can fix those things, we got an
Yeah,
amazing.
if they literally just fixed everything that's being complained about now, then there should really be no problem with Xenoverse 2.
And that's the thing, guys. Let us know in the comment section below if you guys have different opinions, because not everybody's going to agree with us. Granted that there are going to be people out there that are going to say, well, I didn't like that, I didn't like this. If you guys feel differently, let us know what you guys would like to see in the multiplayer aspect of things, because I, for one, think that what we said was very accurate, and I think a lot of people did complain about that. But let us know what you guys think down below. Thank you all for watching once again. If you guys are fans, don't forget to subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Stay tuned for more. And me and the bros are going to see you guys in the next video. Take it easy, everybody. Peace.
Peace.